injury updates? Everybody good to go?
Everybody's good to go.
What are you looking for in that starting group over these last 15 games?
They've been great all year. I just like to get them more minutes together, and I thought that they really got us off to a great start on Sunday. But the more time that they can play together, and they certainly have been good from a number standpoint the whole year.
Do you see Minnesota now as a much more dangerous team than maybe it was when you played them back in the fall?
Yeah, I mean, when you're coaching a game in this league, every team is dangerous, and you never feel comfortable. Minnesota has continued to improve. I thought going there was going to be a heck of a tall task for us. I think that he is a great coach, and I think that the talent level is extremely high. I mean, 2 number 1 picks in a row that can both go for 40 on you. There's not many teams that have that. And, they've got a good thing going. They're number 1 in defense since the All-Star break. They're 10th in offense. And they've got wins over Golden State, the Clippers, and Washington in the last 10 to 12 days. I mean, they're a good team. He's doing a great job with them, and their players are doing a great job.
When you look at the film, how has Karl Anthony Towns specifically improved since the first time you guys played him?
He's been a joke since he got in the league, in my opinion. I mean, he can score with his back to the basket. He can score facing up. He can score off the dribble. He can catch and shoot. They run actions for him, running off screens to shoot threes. I mean, he's talented.
Do you see any similarities between Kris Dunn and Marcus Smart? They're both known for defense as opposed to shooting.
I would say that there are, obviously Dunn coming from here and having a chance to see them play a lot, at least locally and on TV and everything else. I could see where there would be some of that comparison. I think everybody's a little bit different, though, and brings something different to the table. Obviously, Kris is going to be a heck of a player, and he's in a great situation for him.
Do you think he could look at Marcus almost like a role model? Like, all right, your shot's not falling, but there's other ways to contribute.
You could have to ask him that.
Yes, you used to stop in Chicago when you were in Butler occasionally, and then the time you spent last year. How much have you gotten to know him through the years?
Well, obviously, I knew Ron Adams pretty well when he was in Chicago, so I went up and spent a day with those guys when I was the head coach at Butler. And then, after I got this job, Tibbs, like others, was really helpful, just in being available in the transition, especially with his ties to Boston and this organization. And then last year when he was touring around, he came through for a couple of days, and it was great and he came to a little round table that we do, and we were all excited he was there so we could listen to him. And he's got a great lens at which he looks through at the game, and I've got a lot of respect for him. He's a heck of a coach.
Coach. Give away any secrets?
It's hard. It's hard when you're talking basketball, not to talk, but we both have 67 games of film, so there aren't that many secrets out there.
Brad, you missed the college game at all this time of year?
I think you miss the players that you got a chance to go through that with. But I've said before, one of the things that I always wanted to do was really appreciate those times and be forward-looking. I think with the opportunity to go through that and live those back-to-back Final Fours, but also the multiple NCAA tournament wins and appearances, I feel like I lived a lifetime in just 13 years in the college game, and so I'm happy for what I got a chance to experience. And I don't look back on it, but I don't reminisce too much about it. But certainly I appreciate those opportunities, and more so the people that I did it with.
What have you seen or heard of Gershon's development overseas?
Well, I saw him about 10 minutes ago, so I talked to him about it. He seems happy to be here. He had a great experience in China. He's looking forward to what's next.
What is it about Tibbs that makes him an outstanding coach?
I think that Tibbs is on every detail, literally every single detail of every single day, and he's great at it. Defensively, I think this team has really improved, and with a young team, their strides are great. And then offensively, he always tries to pick the advantage he thinks they have. And he goes after it. He goes after it in different ways. He's creative. He runs a bunch of different actions to try to take advantage of what he would consider to be matchup advantages, and again, he's really good at it.
What is next for Gershon? Do you know, or is that a Danny
I'll
question?
let the front office talk about all of that, but it's good to see him here.